The hat, the whip, the boulder. In 1981, one film didn't just create a hero, it redefined adventure itself. Raiders of the Lost Ark was lightning in a leather jacket. A movie that made history feel dangerous and turned archaeology into a fistfight with the supernatural. But behind the fedora and the flying fists, the production was a chaotic masterpiece of luck, pain, and last-minute genius. Today, we're opening the Ark to uncover the 10 secrets of a film that almost never happened. If you've ever dreamed of finding lost treasure, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because you won't want to miss this expedition. Number 10. The movie was conceived on a beach. The idea for Indiana Jones was born on a beach in Hawaii. Steven Spielberg was bummed after being rejected to direct a James Bond film. He told his friend George Lucas he still wanted to make a globe-trotting action movie. Lucas replied, "I've got something better." He pitched a scrappy, dusty archaeologist with a whip and a fear of snakes, chasing down the lost Ark of the Covenant. They made a pact right there in the sand. No studio interference, just pure, unadulterated fun. An American icon was born not in a boardroom, but from two friends hanging out on a beach. Number 9. Harrison Ford was a last-minute replacement. Believe it or not, Steven Spielberg did not want to cast Harrison Ford. He was worried audiences would only see Han Solo. The role was all but locked for another actor, Tom Selleck. Selleck nailed the audition and was ready to go. But his contract for the TV show Magnum P.I. was ironclad, and CBS refused to let him out of it. With just weeks to go before filming, a desperate Spielberg finally agreed with Lucas and made the call. Harrison Ford was cast as Indiana Jones only 3 weeks before the cameras started rolling. Number 8. The name was almost Indiana Smith. In George Lucas's original concept, the hero's name was Indiana Smith. He loved it, but Spielberg hated it, calling it clunky and forgettable. They brainstormed other last names, but nothing felt right. Finally, someone made the simple suggestion to change Smith to Jones. Just like that, it clicked. Indiana Jones sounded less like an accountant and more like a legend carved into stone. Number 7. The most famous scene was an improvisation born from sickness. The iconic scene where Indy confronts a master swordsman in Cairo was supposed to be an epic whip versus sword duel. But on the day of filming, Harrison Ford was suffering from a severe case of dysentery. He could barely stand, let alone perform a complex fight scene. Fed up and exhausted, Ford turned to Spielberg and asked, "Can't I just shoot the guy?" Spielberg loved the idea. The result was one of the greatest comedic moments in action movie history, a legendary scene born from pure, miserable improvisation. Number 6. Those weren't rubber snakes. For the terrifying Well of Souls scene, Spielberg wanted the fear to be real. The crew brought in over 7,000 live snakes, including several real venomous cobras, and dumped them onto the set. To protect actress Karen Allen, they placed a nearly invisible sheet of plexiglass between her and one of the striking cobras. If you look closely during the scene, you can actually see the light reflect off the safety glass for a split second. A tiny barrier that was the only thing standing between the actors and a deadly bite. The adventure is only just beginning. If you're enjoying this look into the Ark, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button below. It really helps the channel. And you'll want to stick around because coming up, we have the secret Star Wars Easter eggs hidden by George Lucas himself. Number 5. The secret Star Wars crossover. George Lucas couldn't resist sneaking a piece of his other famous galaxy into the film. Hidden in plain sight among the ancient hieroglyphs in the Well of Souls, you can clearly spot small carvings of C-3PO and R2-D2. It was a subtle wink from the creator, forever linking his two iconic worlds. For Lucas, a hero with a lightsaber and a hero with a whip were cut from the same mythic cloth. Number 4. The terrifying face melt almost cost the PG rating. When the Ark is opened, the Nazis' faces melt in a horrifying display of divine wrath. In 1981, this was shockingly graphic for a PG-rated film. Parents complained, and the ratings board was flooded with letters. The studio was terrified they would lose their family-friendly rating. But somehow, the scene slipped through without any cuts. That single terrifying sequence helped spark a national debate that eventually led to the creation of the PG-13 rating, forever changing what movies could show. Number 3. The famous truck drag was real, and Ford did it himself. Inspired by a similar stunt from an old Western, the crew dug a narrow trench in the road just deep enough for Ford's body to pass through safely. It was an incredibly dangerous sequence, with Ford just inches away from the spinning wheels. The grit and terror you see on screen isn't just acting. It's the result of one of the riskiest practical stunts ever performed by a leading man. Number 2. The Nazi submarine was a borrowed movie prop. For the scene where Indy stows away on a Nazi U-boat, the production needed an authentic World War II submarine. As luck would have it, the classic German war film Das Boot had just finished filming nearby, and its incredibly detailed, life-size submarine prop was still available. The Raiders crew simply borrowed it, painted on a few new insignias, and just like that, they had a perfect Nazi U-boat, a piece of movie history used to make more movie history. Number 1. The kids who remade it shot for shot. In 1982, 3 kids from Mississippi began an ambitious and seemingly impossible project to remake Raiders of the Lost Ark shot for shot. For 7 straight summers, they filmed in their basements and backyards using homemade props and fearless amateur stunts. They eventually completed their loving tribute, which became a legend in its own right. Steven Spielberg himself saw their version, called it inspirational, and praised their passion and ingenuity, proving that the film's adventurous spirit could inspire anyone to become a filmmaker. Raiders of the Lost Ark wasn't just a movie, it was arguably the best adventure movie ever. A chaotic, handmade, and impossibly perfect adventure that gave us a hero who bled, fell, and always got back up. It was a story built by dreamers, and it taught a generation how to dream. If this movie is part of your story, let us know your favorite Indiana Jones moment in the comments below. Thanks for watching, because as we all know, it's not the years, it's the mileage.